Hello everyone and welcome to the 10th episode of the Warrior Nation F1 Racing League. It's good to be back, and joining me as ever is the lovely co-host, although he's slightly up with the fairies and focusing on World of Tanks. It's Ollie.
Shh. Hello. Are we really at 10 episodes?
Yeah, we're at 10 episodes.
Wow.
Pretty impressive, don't you think?
Amazing.
I can't tell if that's sarcastic or not. We'll move on.
Sarcastic at all.
Okay, good. And joining us is a multitude of other drivers. Let's start with GP1. Hello, Firesamiel.
Hello, everybody.
It's nice to have you back. You haven't been on for a while.
I know, don't know where I've been.
Well, if you don't know, no one else will. And next we have Stuart.
Hello, how are you doing?
I haven't come to you last for a change.
Yeah, because we just go from top to bottom. But
Yeah, we normally. But that's cool. You're okay?
getting there.
You're getting there. You've been ill recently, haven't you?
I've had a 48-hour bug and not eaten since Tuesday, really.
Not so good, but a little bit of podcast medicine will help you in your speedy recovery.
Oh, yes.
Next, we'll jump to GP2 and see Stealth. Hello.
Hi guys.
Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
And we also have Danielson.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Or it may not be evening when people are listening to this. I don't know.
It'd be night time in Dutchland. Dutchland? Holland.
So to give us a rundown of GP1's race last week in Bahrain, here's Stephen J. Hayes, 83.
Round 4 of the Warrior Nation F1 Racing League saw the drivers in GP1 travel to Sakhir to race around the Bahrain International Circuit. Expectations to see close racing once again were proved right, and an action-fueled race rose like the sun in the Middle East. It wasn't all that close in qualifying though, with reigning World Drivers' Champion Tuppers taking pole position by 0.6 of a second from former teammate Cube623. Firesamiel and current championship leader Jay Hygo placed just behind the leading pair going into the race. Inevitably, the first corner saw a mammoth pile-up. Master Babybel, starting from 12th, misjudged his braking spot and ploughed into the side of Cube623. The resulting impact sent Stuart SSDD and bowfar wondering if the sniper scope of the first corner incidents was ever going to leave them. Master Babybel received 2 in-game penalties and eventually retired later on in the Grand Prix. The first corner fiasco seemed not to bother Cube623 though, as he pitted early onto fresh tyres and made his charge onto the front runners, eventually driving the Lotus to 5th place. The rest of the opening laps saw cars trading rubber and paint as they frantically battled for position. Turn 10 on the opening lap saw Gaza, Oxa112 and Thimbot 007 3 abreast going down the back straight, while the front saw Firesamiel and Jay Hygo trading paint through turns 2 and 3 on lap 11, resulting in the McLaren spinning out of control. It was Tuppers though, who mastered an impressive and dominant victory to take his second win of the season in a row and leapfrogs the consistent one Jay Hygo on 77 points, while the McLaren number 1 moves to 73 courtesy of his 3rd place finish. Firesamiel's 2nd place finish moves him just 8 points behind the Force India of Shiraz 995, and Cube623's impressive recovery opens up the gap to Oxa112 in the Mercedes to 20 points. As the teams pack up and head to Europe, all eyes are glued to the action-packed racing, and new rivalries are already beginning to form. Only a week stands between some of the drivers and fresh starts, and the drama will be unleashed in Spain in the next round of the Warrior Nation F1 Racing League.
So to keep Ollie's interest, what was your race like?
Not too bad. It wasn't terrible. It could have been better. I was racing with Oxa for quite a bit. I thought I would be faster, but in the end I finished 8th, I think.
Tuppers' super setup not working for you then?
No, it was working. I just couldn't get turn. I think it's turn 8 or 9. The nasty little double left-hander that sort of drops and is off camber and horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that right. Every single lap, I couldn't do it, which lost me. Yeah, a bit of time, I think.
It's a hard corner.
Mhm.
What about yourself, Stuart?
Besides the whole turn 1 fiasco with you both, are pretty easy race. Had pace to go quicker, but ended up getting 9th.
You make it sound like I was the cause of turn 1.
You didn't assist matters.
It wasn't great, turn 1.
Well, I ended up going into you and knocking you to 14th, me going 15th.
Yeah, it was quite humorous, actually, to see you pointing the other way.
Pointing the other way, pushing you backwards.
Yes.
Where did you finish in the end?
I didn't, basically. My Xbox froze. Partly because I think it was because it was on for a long time, and my Xbox doesn't normally freeze, but it was pretty crap. How was your race, Samil?
Well, it's pretty boring race, really. I had a couple of moments with Shiraz having to do some defending, like Nico Rosberg. Just had to keep it consistent to get the second place, keep the gap between me and Josh, and that's how the race went.
You and Josh had a bit of a coming together, as we heard.
Well, let's just say, again, he wasn't on the mic, went down the inside. I think he saw the white marker, could have left a bit more room. I went around the outside in the second corner and we locked wheels. I couldn't have gone any further to the right, otherwise I would have been right on the rumble strips. And we just locked wheels, and then when you just start straight out, just start to straighten your car out, he spun because of the wheels getting caught, which is just one of the problems with the game at the moment. Things like that happening.
I think shock of the race was Gaz not getting a penalty.
Indeed, although it could be argued that he was the cause of you spinning, but we just didn't have enough footage or evidence to prove or disprove that.
Well, I think it all really just started from the Gabriel not knowing where his brake was, but all's well.
And actually moving back onto the mic chat thing, because that's a topic, because it's quite a big talking point at the moment. I think it's quite important. Many others as well feel that it's quite important for the racers to be in the game chat to help prevent incidents like that.
Indeed.
Undoubtedly, it would have not harmed it, but I don't know.
What do you think about it, Ollie?
In my opinion, I think it should be up to the driver whether or not he wants to listen to other people or not. I find it very difficult, as people have experienced. If people say my name, I end up crashing because I can't concentrate on two things at once. That's why for the last two races I partied up with Tuppers for the race, because we can just send small bits of information to each other when it's needed, rather than having to listen to everyone else's conversations.
I do see that point. However, I think the prevention or possible prevention of incidents by telling someone that you may be going to be running past them not to turn in on you, I think that will save a lot of time for the stewards. So that's yourself and me and Stuart and other people as well, and Samil and Stealth. It will save us a lot of time sifting through all of the claims that we get sent into us.
Yeah, I see your point, but I think accidents are going to happen whether or not you're going to tell somebody you're coming or not.
Yeah, but it's more preventable if you actually tell somebody.
It is more preventable, but as I said, in my personal opinion, I find it very difficult to listen to everything else that's going on as well as concentrate on my race. And if the rule was going to be changed, we have to listen and have to be on comms during the race, and I'd obviously change and try and adapt. But at the moment, I'm going to stick with parting up with Tuppers.
I mean, it's the same for everyone. Everyone has to listen to the stuff that goes on. I mean, Australia was just awful.
I know.
And we won't mention any more. We won't talk about it anymore. It just needs to mention. It was distracting for everyone, but everyone's in the same position. And when everyone's in the same position, then it's fair across the board.
And here's bowfar with the roundup of the GP2 race.
The Warrior Nation's GP2 division is starting to turn heads, especially after the latest race meeting at the Bahrain International Circuit last Sunday. The McLaren of Mr. Tans went into the weekend top of the standings, but it was his teammate Edink F1 who grabbed pole position, followed by Reckless Samster in the Williams. Mr. Tans was present at the front though, in third place. When the lights went out, Reckless Samster was best of the starters, getting the jump on Edink F1, with his nose ahead going into the first corner. Unluckily for him, he chose the long way around and touched the rear left wheel of Edink's McLaren, causing him to lose traction and spin out. Unlike the GP1 race, that was the only first corner incident. Edink F1 may have survived that encounter, but bad luck was still waiting for him. A series of poor corners meant he had dropped to 6th place by the end of the first lap. However, it wasn't to stop there. With question marks over his connection failing him in races previous to Bahrain, it failed him once again on lap 13, so he stays at the foot of the championship with only a couple of points despite his impressive pace. Before his disconnection though, he was to bear witness to the race's biggest incident. Lap 6 saw C Stealth in second place, with Edink and HB Snipes battling behind him. C Stealth, slightly hampered by the use of only one eye, literally didn't see or expect both drivers to place their cars up the inside of the Lotus into turn 1. HB Snipes soared into the runoff area and C Stealth touched wheels of Edink, which caused him to spin out. That was the last of the serious incidents though, and Mr. Tans took the checkered flag to extend his lead in the championship to 86 points. C Stealth's 4th place finish sees him take 2nd place in the standings on 52 points, just 1 point ahead of HB Snipes. It looks like GP2's Drivers' Championship may already be decided, but to say that it wasn't worth following would be foolish. The Constructors' Championship sees the top 2 teams separated by just a single point, so the stakes are as high as ever heading into GP2's race in Spain next week. The only way to find out what happens is to join us for the next race meeting in the Warrior Nation's F1 Racing League. Did you guys like the new music I put underneath?
Yeah, it's better.
Good. On the note of the music, actually, I would like to give a shout out to Techno Axe, which is where I got the music from. He does royalty-free music, lots of electronic and some rock progressions, and he does all sorts of stuff over there. So I'll put the link to his channel in the description, and you can go and check out his channel. So, GP2 race from Mr. Stealth's point of view, what was it like?
Like always, I got the pace in qualifying. I was only 3/10 off Mr. Trent. He was on the soft tire, I was on the hard tire. So I have known that I could have outrun him on the long run. I had the pace, but yeah, like you said in the roundup, on reps 6, 7, it went all wrong for me, and I had to do a 2-stop because I had no wing and I lost my front left. But I came back and forth, so I can't complain too much. But I lost a lot of points because I could have battle Trent for the win.
You saw your fair share of drama as well.
Yeah, true. But I can't complain too much with one eye.
Yes, you did have one eye. Is it better now?
It's a long story, but I can use both eyes now, but I don't know for how long.
Well, it's quite mean to laugh at people's illnesses, Daniel. How was your race?
No, I'm not laughing at that.
How was your race?
Yeah, kind of the same as Stealth, really. A bit kind of the same, hit and miss, literally. Span first couple of every race I've spun on the first corner or the third corner, put me back to the back. I felt like I raced average to good pace. I was playing the guys last night and they've been giving me tips to get better, so I'm hoping that will prove valuable for the next race on Sunday.
No teammate again this race. Are you slightly disappointed with his commitment?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Creative Face. I mean, he's really reluctant to get a mic, and he keeps on coming back to me saying, "Oh, I get it in the week. Or I don't find time to go to the shops and get it." I just don't think he wants to be heard.
Maybe he has an embarrassing voice.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought it could be the voice, but I'm not going to push it. We do keep in contact through messages. To be fair to him, he does keep in contact in terms of like his lap times and tell me how he's getting on. But yeah, still trouble in the ranks in Red Bull.
For tonight's Meet the Driver, we have Master Baby Bell.
My gamer tag is Master Baby Bell, and I'll be racing in the GP1 league. I'll be driving for Force India. The first memory of it, obviously I've seen Formula 1 as a kid, but becoming a fan in 2011, the first thing I can remember even thinking was how much nicer the cars look in comparison, to seeing them as a kid. My all-time favourite F1 driver has to be Sebastian Vettel. The reason why is the kid's just got amazing skill, amazing talent. There hasn't really been anyone like him in Formula 1 for quite a few years. I equally like Webber, but in my household it sways towards Vettel. My favourite F1 moment has to go to when Mark Webber won the Silverstone Grand Prix last season, because he made Alonso's bitch. I think and I hope that Shiraz wins it. I think he has the ability to make it his season.
So we'll start with GP2 for this section. This part of the podcast where we look ahead to the weekend's race, which will be in Spain, first European race of the season. Let's go to Daniel, son. How do you think your pace will be and your race predictions for Spain?
Always optimistic going into races. I feel like I can get better. Like I said, I was talking to Stealth yesterday, and Kerr. I've got a good connection with Kerr. I'm liking him at the moment. He's giving me lots of tips. He's giving me a few alternative lines. I think I'm going to be setting... What's the average time you want to set right now? 1:25?
That's qualifying pace. In race pace, around about, in GP2, 1:23, 1:24.
Hang on a minute. I reckon that if I can get out of the first few corners and actually straighten out and race, I reckon I can be competitive. Just got to get out of that first corner.
True.
I think it's the same for most people.
Especially you, bowfar.
Especially me.
I look at Stealth as like me and him, a little one-on-one battle. I like what we got going on, and I want to actually race him. I want to be side to side.
Instead of being lapped.
Yeah.
Or being overtaken.
How about your race, Stealth? How's it looking?
I got the pace. I got my tire under control, but I have to stay out of problems, and then I think I'll top 3 again.
Nice. Same as always. Samuel, what do you think for GP1?
It'll just be a boring race on a boring track. Maybe come third. Third would do me good. Toppers will win. Second will either go to Josh or Shiraz. And yes, that's my predictions and something or other.
Stuart, how's your race?
I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm just going to say as long as you get through the first couple of bends clean, I should pick up a couple of points.
Why did I get you on the podcast? To talk? I don't want to make any predictions. Go on, make a prediction.
Okay, prediction. Let's go 8th.
Thank you.
Did you know a person uses approximately 57 sheets of toilet paper each day?
That's a lot of toilet paper.
Speak for yourself.
How about double that? Because I always wrap it up to a thick layer.
Ollie, are you still there?
Yep. What's going on?
I drag you away from your tanks to tell me how Spain is looking for you.
Spain's looking okay.
Only
I
okay
don't
this week?
expect big things this week, to be honest. Depends. I've got to practice some strategy tonight. I'll be doing some late night practicing if anyone's around after midnight.
Yeah, we can organise a session right now if you like.
Yeah, late night.
I can't do now. I can do after midnight though.
No, let's do late night. I'm up for that.
That's no problem for me, but maybe I'll be drunk.
On average, there are 333 squares of toilet paper on each roll.
So, Bowfar, how is your race prediction going to be?
Oh, thanks for asking. It's all right. Yeah, I think I haven't done a whole lot of testing. I missed quite a lot of sessions, but yeah, the one I did do seemed all right. I was hanging in there with quite a lot of the old, well, not the old, but lots of the GP3 drivers. We've got new league coming soon, GP3, and we got quite a lot of drivers from another league. They decided to leave that one and come and join us. So I was sticking it in there with them. So I'm feeling fairly confident because of that. Just as long as someone doesn't crash into me in the first corner.
So in final news, we have GP3 starting this weekend at the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got quite a few new members. We've filled the grids for GP3 and we're looking to fill GP4. So if you're interested, please get on the warriornation.net forum and find our section. Also go on Twitter, we're at warriornationf1, or contact us through YouTube on this page you're on. It's good night from me and it's good night from bowfar.
Yes, it is. It's good night from me. It's goodbye from everyone else as well.
Of course.
Goodbye.
Time for a tabby bye-bye.
Did you know the odds of being killed by a dog are 1 in 700,000?
Well, that's great, and we'll see you again before you get bombarded with more facts. See you later. Bye. Go on, let's hear one more. Make it a good one, though, because this is going right at the end of the podcast, so it better be good.
Oh god, okay.
So good, it makes me
I
flip.
don't know if this one's very good, but I'll have a go.
Once he says it, there's no reaction whatsoever. It just ends.
Right. You ready? I hope I read this well. A 13-year-old child found a tooth growing out of his foot in 1977.